All systems go. Clear for takeoff.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the SHIPIT Nation MLB quick hit video for some playoff baseball here. We have a 4-game slate, solid contests around the industry, specifically on DraftKings. That'll kind of be the focus here today of this show. I'm Hoop 2410, Mike Petta. We'll be here breaking it down, see what we can find, and get some of those SHIPIT Nation logos to the top of the leaderboard. If you're new here, please do us a favor, hit the like, hit the subscribe, helps us out a ton in the efforts of growing this channel. So really appreciate your support. If you're not a member already, get on over to shipitnation.com, check us out, all sports, and you can get in right now and try it out for $19. We have our 5-day mission, gets you access to everything on the website for 5 days. The only exception is no Discord. So if you want the Discord, choose one of the monthly package, 6-month packages, or the annual package. You'll get all the MLB playoff content. You'll get NFL content, MMA content, PGA content, and all the tools you need to be successful at DFS. So if you haven't done so already, get on over there and check us out. In terms of this baseball slate, it's 4 games. It starts at 3 Eastern, and the games are pretty spread out. You got a game at 3 Eastern, 4:30 Eastern, 7 Eastern, and 8 Eastern. So we won't have all the lineups at the time of lock. Most likely won't. I mean, again, I guess there's a chance if these teams want to get it out early. But for the playoffs, it's pretty predictable what teams are going to do in terms of their lineups. The regular guys are typically just in there, obviously, so you don't really have to worry about anyone really being out, especially like the big name type guys. So we're going to kind of go through, talk pitchers first, and then we're going to go through and see what we can find offensively. Obviously, game 1 of the playoffs, you're going to see a lot of aces, which makes it a little bit difficult for offense today, which you'll see when we kind of go through and start talking about these offenses. But at the pitcher position, we have Gausman at the top at 9.8, and then we go all the way down to the Arizona starter at $5,300. Gausman, probably my favorite pitcher here today. He's the most expensive at 98, but that price tag is not prohibitive at all when you kind of go through and start building out your team. So Gausman against Minnesota. Minnesota, just their offense can just disappear and just get completely shut down. With Gausman, he's going to go deep into the game, which is also really nice. So Gausman will be the SP1 for me. Glasnow I like a lot at home against Texas. Ballpark is very good. Glasnow obviously had a really solid season. Texas offense can be scary. Corey Seager's a bat on the other side that I have interest in, which we'll talk about when we get to the offenses, but fine with Glasnow. The first guy kind of be off will be Pablo Lopez, 9,100. He's at home. And I think I'd just much rather find a way to get up to Glasnow or Gausman over him. Toronto's offense, pretty scary offense. They have some big bats in there. So Lopez is a guy I'm fine kind of, being off or underweight on here today. Zach Wheeler, 8,600 against the Miami Marlins. He's pretty good spot at home, a slight favorite here. And, he's fine. I'll have some of him. The next guy that I do like quite a bit is Corbin Burns, at home, pretty big. One of I think the biggest favorite maybe on the slate. He's like minus 180. 8K price tag is fair. He has upside. I do like the Diamondbacks offense, but I think it's a pretty tough spot for him. So Glasnow would be my next spot I'd look to after those top 2 guys. Then we kind of get down to the bottom. Jordan Montgomery, I think it's just a really tough spot for him in Tampa Bay. I don't have a ton of interest. They're going to roll out a lot of right-handed bats that can do some damage here. I mean, they're going to probably have, I think, all righties. So Montgomery is a guy I don't have much interest in whatsoever. Luzardo, slight interest. I mean, he's quite a bit cheaper than some of these other guys. 6,800 against the Phillies. The nice thing, about going against the Phillies and being a lefty is, Schwarber, Harper, you get those lefty-lefty matchups. Yes, they can still get it done in those spots, but kind of like Luzardo there, I think he has a chance. Big strikeout upside. If he's rolling, like he can get it done. And then the Arizona guy, like I don't have a ton of interest in 53. I think he's in the worst spot here. I'll be most likely fading him. Now the price tag is super cheap at 5.3. So if you're doing 150, maybe you keep him in there and just see what it gets you. But for the most part, I'm going to be off of him. So just to kind of summarize what I'm thinking here at pitcher, Gausman and Glasnow in that top tier, like them a lot. Prefer Gausman, but if you need the 500, cool going down to Glasnow. Not much interest in Pablo Lopez. Little more interest in Zach Wheeler, but Burns is my next guy for sure. And then Luzardo down here. So I'll rank them Gausman, Glasnow, Burns, and then Luzardo would kind of be how I rank those pitchers. We will have core plays for this slate that'll be going up probably later this morning, early afternoon. Cores for DK, FanDuel, and then cash cores as well from our guy Title, who's just been absolutely crushing the cash game streets in all sports. I mean, and he's not a guy that's just putting plays up there. He's playing and grinding cash games across the industry, so you're getting it from the best guy out there. So make sure get on over SHIPITNation.com. Check it out. Let's go ahead talk about some hitters. But before we do so, just two quick reminders, maybe three. Like, subscribe on this channel, helps us out a ton, trying to grow this up a little bit. All the support we can get, we appreciate. Been overwhelming support so far. Want to keep that momentum going. If you're not a member, as I said in the opening, $19 gives you access to everything on the website for 5 days. It's our 5-day mission. NFL, MLB, NBA is right around the corner. That won't be part of the 5-day mission because it hasn't started yet. PGA, MMA, and then we will have NHL when that starts in a couple weeks. So 5-day mission gets you access to everything on the website. You can check it out. Doesn't include Discord. So if you want to be in our Discord, which is a great environment, you have to choose one of the monthly, semi-annual or annual packages to get in there. So, all right, let's talk some hitters, some offenses. I'm going to kind of go through. We'll do a little game by game, just talk about it that way and see what we can find. Rangers, Rays. Talked about Montgomery having to face a lot of right-handed bats here today. He's going to get a lineup probably full of righties. So I like the Rays, and there's upside in there. Rosarina, and we have cheap guys too. Rosarina is not cheap, but Harold Ramirez should be in a good spot. 3,700, and then they're going to have some cheap guys at the bottom. Junior Caminero should be in the middle of the lineup, only $3,200, third base eligible. So this is going to be one of my top offenses here to attack the Rays. On the Rangers side, I like Glasnow. I'm not going to be going crazy, but man, I do want some exposure to Corey Seager for sure. And then maybe some Marcus Semien. They are expensive though. Semien's 57, Seager 62. Definitely want to get some Seager. I'll force him in. I'll make sure I get Seager. Regardless of how I'm building, especially if you're doing a lot of lineups. If you're doing 150, definitely want some exposure there. It fills a position where at shortstop, if he hits a bomb, I mean, you probably just need him. So in on Seager. Blue Jays, Twins, Gausman is the SP1, so not a ton of interest in the Twins offense. Just kind of going through, see if we can see anything that kind of stands out. Matt Wallner as a cheap one-off, I'd have exposure to him, but there's nothing else that's really standing out as guys I want. I did talk about when we talked about pitchers, not really loving Lopez. I do want some Blue Jays exposure. A lot of ways you can do it. Obviously, you got the big dogs, Springer, Guerrero, Bichette. Chapman should be low owned probably because of his lineup spot. You get a solid catcher in Alejandro Kirk, 2,900, cheap guy in Biggio. This is an offense I want to be on today. Going to be off Lopez, going to be on the Blue Jays offense. One of those double leverage situations. Lopez is not going to be crazy owned, but he will be pretty moderately owned, I'd say. Got the Diamondbacks and Brewers, and is this the highest? Yeah, highest total on the site. I mean, it's sitting at 8. The other games are 7.5. So we'll say it's the highest total on the slate. I do like Burns, but that doesn't mean I'm going to be all for the Diamondbacks. I mean, they got some guys in here with big power. The Diamondbacks guys that I want the most are just their best batters. I want Corbin Carroll, Christian Walker, and I'm going to keep playing Alec Thomas. He's treated us well towards the end of the season here. Should bat 5th or 6th, pretty cheap. So cool getting exposure there. I'm obviously going to have more Burns. On the Brewers side, they're probably the most popular offense on the slate just because of the matchup. They're facing the worst pitcher today, and a lot of ways to attack them. I mean, they should have a pretty solid lineup top to bottom here. Yelich, Sal Frelick, Contreras at catcher, Willie Adames, Josh Donaldson should be batting towards the bottom of that order. This Bryce Terang guy is a cheap way to get exposure to the offense. So definitely want some Brewers. And the nice thing about their lineup is you can be creative with how you stack them because there's going to be a lot of potential options in this offense. Last game, we have the Marlins and the Phillies, 7.5 total. Luzardo versus Wheeler. I do like Wheeler. I ranked my top 4. He'd probably be number 5. Guys on the Marlins offense that I think are potentially in play. Luis Arraez obviously is just a safe option. Very likely to get a hit, get on base at least once. Jazz Chisholm, he's up there at 52, but I like him. And then Soler. Berger. Yeah, I'm fine stacking this Marlins offense. They have power. They have power, top to bottom. They have stolen base upside. It's a dynamic type offense. If they get going, they can definitely put up some points. So I do want some Marlins while still kind of being on Wheeler as well. And then on the Philly side, not a ton of interest. The lefty-lefty matchup kind of neutralizes Schwarber and Harper a little bit. Trey Turner is very expensive at 5.9. Real Muto is 4.8. So they're kind of expensive here. So I don't love the Phillies offense. Again, it's a 4-game slate in 150. Probably will have some exposure here, but not like my favorite spot. So in terms of offenses, I'm going to say number 1 is Tampa Bay going up against Montgomery. Again, I'm just going to like their lineup today with all these righties in there. Brewers, who will be the most popular. And then I'm going to go with the Blue Jays. So those will be the top 3. Just kind of depends how many teams you're building, what sort of contest you're in. If you're doing 150, if you're doing a couple, if you're doing one, kind of, depends in terms of, where you're going to be looking to attack. But, solid 4-game slate here. We obviously have solid pitching. Offense is going to be a little more difficult just because of the nature of this slate where we're getting all the aces out there today for these teams, which makes offense pretty difficult. That's why the highest total on the slate is sitting at 8. So we're going to have these videos all throughout the week. Just a quick hit, giving you my thoughts or one of our other team members' thoughts. Ham might hop on here. G Ryzen might hop on here, giving you guys their thoughts. But we're going to try to do these here throughout the playoffs. I hope you guys found this to be helpful. Obviously, like, subscribe, tweet this video out. We really appreciate all the support. Again, just trying to grow this channel. And guys have done a great job so far. And we're very appreciative of the growth we've seen and all the support over these first few months. So let's keep the momentum going. Let's get those Ship It Nation logos to the top of the leaderboard today. We'll be back tomorrow with another edition of the MLB Quick Hits. Good luck today.